It's poetry in motion. She turned to tenderize to me, as deep as any ocean, as sweet as any harmony. She blinded me with science.
She blinded me with science.
Hi, I'm Gail Filson. Welcome to our annual Title I Summer Program Informational Video.
Hi, my name is Sonia Larrabee, and these are the topics we will cover in this video. CSI General Information, Program Features for CSI and 5th Grade Project STEM, Group Tone and Classroom Expectations and Management, Substitute Needs and Issues, Daily Attendance Required for Auditing Purposes, Inventory Requirements, Planning, Time to Prepare for Lessons, and Data. And last, but certainly not least, things to remember.
There are a lot of things to cover. Let's go. Welcome to the CSI General Informational section. First, I'll start with your hours. Each day you will be paid for teaching from 8:05, it includes planning, to 2:20, when you will have a 30-minute on-campus lunchtime with the students. You will have to stay with your students during the lunchtime, and you will have to tag another teacher to allow you to run to the restroom to make a phone call. You are with your students all day long, and they will not be going out on any art, music, or PE, nor will they have any thorough recess time. If you need to go outside to look at leaves or look at erosion for a quick science look at something, that's about it, because it's too hot in the summer anyhow. Now, you will be paid as a teacher your hourly rate that you make now. You will be paid on the pre-planning date, and you're paid for all of the days that you work. If a substitute takes your place, you will not be paid that day. The paycheck dates will come out sometime in the middle of July, and also for your June dates will be in the middle of July check, and then you'll have another check in July, and then the last one will be the middle of August. You will check with the principal. He will give you, or she will give you, the actual dates. You will be assigned duties such as bus support, or parent pickup.
Program Features for CSI and 5th Grade Project STEM. Over the course of the 16 days, students in grades K through 5 will be administered unit pre- and post-tests in science and a pre- and post-test in math. A reading pre- and post-test will not be administered for grades K through 5. This is a change if you have taught CSI or Project STEM in the past. However, 1st and 2nd grade teachers will have access to the Waterford and Success Maker student reports, but you are not being asked to document or submit a progress report in reading. Pre-K will not take any assessments. Each CSI summer program, grades K through 4, is divided up into units according to the science concept being investigated. Please refer to your science calendar for the listing of units and the length of time they will be taught. A pretest will be administered at the beginning of each unit, and then this same pretest will serve as the post-test at the end of the unit. As you can see on both the kindergarten science and reading calendars, each pretest and post-test is named for the content it assesses. These are the 3 kindergarten assessments, each assigned a point value. For the intermediate grades, you may prefer to give all of these unit post-tests as one larger post-test on day 14 or 15 of the program. All science unit pretest post-tests may be found in the front of your teacher binder. Project STEM for grade 5 is also divided into science units, but you will only pre- and post-test once. All of the unit pre- and post-tests have been combined. When recording your science data on the student information form for grades K through 4, you will enter 1 score for a science pretest and 1 score for a science post-test. To do this, you will combine all the unit pretests into 1 score, and the same for the post-tests. For math, There is only one pretest administered, which occurs during the first week of the summer program, and then the post-test is administered just before day 16. It is also found in the front of your teacher binder. These pre- and post-tests are designed to be informal, formative assessments. In other words, assessments designed to check for understanding that will help you as a teacher know your next steps in instruction, as well as to check what your students know and what they have learned. The science curriculum used in CSI, grades K through 4, is meant to give students a preview of the upcoming science content that they will investigate beginning in August. For example, kindergarten CSI students are being exposed to grade 1 science benchmarks. Math, however, does not work in this way. Kindergarten students spend their time during CSI reviewing the content of the math standards they learned during their time in kindergarten. ISN Spiral notebooks will not be distributed this summer. Please use iPads and/or notebook paper for any journaling and recording of information by your students. Teacher guides, which are your binders, will be picked up at your iPad training date. Teachers may keep these binders to use throughout the upcoming school year. All copies will be delivered to your school site. Therefore, no copies may be made at your school. Math lessons are in the schedule with separate lesson plans that may be found either at the back of the binder or at the end of each lesson. Web page lessons and a data projector may be needed. The 5th grade math lessons have been merged with the science lessons.
Group tone and classroom management expectations. Setting the right tone and preventing behavior issues are listed in the CSI Teacher's Guide and are to be used by all teachers. The administrators will handle the major or very difficult behavior issues, and they will bring that up at their pre-planning meeting. You need to report any students you are worried about to your CSI coach, and she can possibly or can help you with that. Classroom centers and stations, we must see these in CSI for reading as well as the math and science. Each day, an administrator should visit you, and they need to have their initials signed up on your calendar along with your coach. There will be no teacher evaluations by the site administrators, but teachers need to be positive, professional with other teachers and their students.
Substitute needs and issues. Teachers, you are expected to work every day per your signed email sent to the district office. If you have a concern about an absence, please discuss this concern with your coach. If there is a family emergency, teachers must contact the summer site administrator or the school staff assigned to payroll. Please follow the school site's procedures communicated during your pre-planning meeting, which will include how to obtain a sub. We will have an approved sub list for teachers to use. No SIMs will be used. Don't forget, if you are absent, your sub will receive compensation for that day. The reason for your absence must be discussed with your coach and/or site administrator. An absence due to a vacation is not permitted during summer program.
Daily attendance required for Title I auditing purposes. Teachers will use an Excel spreadsheet to keep all of their student attendance. They can either make a hard copy and do it that way, or they can keep it right on their computer each day. If a child is late, we do not say that they're tardy, except we have to let the coach know that they came in late, because every day we count our students for Title I. Daily numbers will be submitted to our office by the CSI coach. So you will see the coach come in your room counting heads every day to make sure the number matches your numbers. Teachers will submit a hard copy of the attendance at the end of the program, and they will also upload one on Office 365. Now remember, we need to keep calling our parents to keep the attendance up. See if there's anybody on the waiting list for the first week or so. We need to invite other students. We also need to remember that if the attendance gets too low, we may have to close 2 units into one, which we do not want to do, so please call parents.
Inventory requirements. To get started in organizing yourself for CSI, locate your large blue, clear, and/or gray bins as well as the brown boxes. How do I find this out? In your teacher binder, locate the inventory sheet entitled An Inventory of Bins and Boxes. Each of these containers will have a taped, colored label specific for your school. Find the labels that have your grade level. Take all the bins and boxes for either Teacher A or Teacher B. And guess what? You get to decide which teacher is A or which teacher is B. In the event that you are not able to seek a custodian's help, please bring a cart with you on this on-site training day. It is important to note that all materials need to be packed into the same and correct boxes and bins for storage in order to prevent damage due to weight and to also assist with the inventory for the upcoming summer. Please do not throw away any brown boxes to any of the science kits, including the large brown boxes that contain these kits. When you get back to your room with your goodies, it's time to inventory. Locate the inventory sheets near the front of your binder for each of the bins and boxes. You will see that you have 2 sets of the same inventory sheets. One set is for you to use today. For today's on-site training, you will fill in under the Receive column, and then during post-planning, you will fill in under the Return column. Each item has an amount attached. For example, on the sample inventory sheet, there are 6 to 7 readers entitled Being a Scientist. You may have 6 or 7 of these readers in your bin. Please indicate the exact quantity in the column marked Amount. Please do not use a check mark, circle, or your initials. It is important that our inventory be accurate. Communicate with your coach any notes you wrote on the inventory sheet that indicates lost, broken, or damaged materials so that we may reorder and refill for the following year. This inventory you are working with during the on-site training day will be placed in a blue folder that will be turned in post-planning. The second set of each inventory will be placed inside the appropriate bin or box as a backup for your inventory, and this will occur during post-planning when you pack up. Send an email to your coach with any important missing items that are necessary for your investigations. For example, if you have 5 out of 7 of a particular item, you will be able to make do, and it will not be necessary to send this email to your coach. There are 3 different and separate inventories. We have just worked with one of them, the bins and boxes that contain your science kit materials. The other 2 inventories are your warehouse supplies that include items such as plastic bags, pencils, markers, and glue, and then your Walmart supplies such as the baking soda, food coloring, and salt that you may need for your investigations. In regards to the warehouse order, it will be coming differently this summer. The coach at your school will give you your grade level appropriate inventory sheet so that you may collect these items. This inventory is entitled CSI Summer Program Supplies.
Planning, time to prepare for lessons, and data. Our on-site training day will be used to set up materials and to have coworker time to dialogue about the lesson design and approaches for low-level as well as above-level students. We give you this time up front because of the fact that each day you'll probably be doing bus duty, morning and afternoon, and you will not feel like you have planning time. But we give you that full day to get things up and running ahead of time. You will have daily schedules, which will be followed, that you'll see in the CSI notebook, unless the school and the team agree to adjust the times for the students. Remember, our data is probably the most important piece for you to keep up with. You'll have a pre and post data for grades K through 5. You will not be giving any data to pre-kindergarten except for the attendance is the only data we keep up with. And we will talk about that more into your individual grade levels. But our data is very important for our grant because we have to prove students either attended and grew from their testing data.
Things to remember. Teachers, please remember to keep up with the forms that need to be collected at the end. They include inventory sheets, media releases, student information sheets, attendance, assessments, and parent, student, and teacher program evaluations that will be done on the iPad. You must turn in a copy of your daily attendance, the first set of inventory sheets, and data by placing these documents in a blue folder on the last day of the program. You will also upload copies of the attendance and data to Office 365. Please remember to bring from your own classroom or home a tape dispenser, a stapler, pencil sharpener, and an adult pair of scissors. Be sure to call your parents to remind them of the start date during pre-planning, and this is important to keep up your class numbers so that we are able to keep your unit. When using the resources, please consider the instructional level of your students. Adjustments need to be made for student differentiation. And please remember to have a sign-in sheet for parent attendance during the parent celebration on the last day. Parents will be given the opportunity to complete their parent evaluation on the iPad at this event. Because we cannot pay you enough for the hours of extra reading and preparation we know you will take to make this program a success. All the warehouse and Walmart consumable items that you do not use during summer program will be yours to keep to use in your classroom in August. Grade level updates. All grade levels will have an updated science and reading calendar that will serve as a detailed overview. Any extra student hard copies may be sent home with the students for practice at the end of summer program. Pre-kindergarten updates. There will be no pre- and post-tests for pre-kindergarten students. Your goal is to get your students ready for kindergarten. Kindergarten updates. There will not be a pre- or post-reading test. However, you will have pre- and post-tests for math and science. First grade updates. You will not have any reading assessments because you are using Waterford. However, you will have math and science pre- and post-tests. Your reading lessons for CSI have been revised and now include SIPs, as you may need. You may have access to your weekly PowerPoints through Office 365. Second grade updates. There will not be a reading assessment because you are using SuccessMaker. However, you will have math and science pre- and post-tests. Your reading lessons for CSI have been revised and now correlate with our Florida standards for ELA. You may have access to your weekly PowerPoints through Office 365. Please remember to bring a meter stick from home or from your classroom for the measurement lessons during the science portion of your days. Third and fourth grade updates. You will not be administering a pre- and post-test for reading. However, you will be administering pre- and post-tests for math and science. Third and fourth grade students and teachers are being given access to our Science Fusion's digital resource, Think Central. Your username and password, along with instructions, may be found in the front of your teacher binder. Fifth grade updates. There will not be a pre- or post-test for reading. Your math single assessment has been integrated in with your science pre- and post-test.
The Title I department has spent many years developing wonderful students that have outperformed statewide all of our other counties of the similar size. What we've done to make this happen is we've had fabulous teachers that we've employed every year that have had really 16 days of professional learning, all about how to integrate science into everything they did all day long. And the students, of course, did the work, and they have grown each year in the 16 days by learning about the science a year ahead, which has helped our school district really have fabulous science scores. And I'm hoping that this program will continue, and each year we will add things to it that'll make it even better for our teachers and our students.
We are very excited that you decided to join us this summer for your own professional learning and growth, as well as making an impact on students you will meet. Teachers and students alike find CSI summer program in STEM engaging, fun, and life-lasting. We look forward to working with you and seeing all the great science that will abound in your classroom.